Hello, Kim.
Hi, Danny. Good to see you.
It's always good to see you. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, thank you. Yeah, I was just talking to Dr. Gail earlier today.
Really?
Yeah, you know
She
Dr.
is going
Gail.
to be, I do. And she is either going to be on before you or after you in this session. I'm not sure where it's going to go, the order of it all. Yeah, Dr. Gail.
Yeah, I know. She, has been such a leader in our community, I
Yeah.
think,
Yes.
opening us up to new extra dimensions.
Absolutely.
EDs, extra
E.
dimensional.
Oh my gosh, I'm going to have to change the title because it was ET week. Now it's going to be ED. No, I'm not going to go there.
You'll just keep it. Oh, okay, yeah.
I'm gonna keep it ET. You tricked me.
Good idea.
You tricked me.
Was not
Oh my gosh.
funny.
All
Okay.
right. So where does Medium Kim fit into the extraterrestrial conversation? And from my perspective, right? This is the way that I remember meeting you. You wanted to do an orograph, and I was like honored. I'm like, yeah, sure. And so we do this orograph, and you're drawing away, and you're gonna see a lot of green, a lot of this, and you have 3 ETs around you, and you just keep going. And I'm like, what'd you say? Because I'm from Missouri. I eat what? What? No.
Yeah, and you did say that. I remember you said, I'm from Missouri. I don't think we had ETs in Missouri.
Well, and we do. I mean, they're
Uh-oh.
I remember some of my family members. I think they're anyway. Cousins and no.
Oh my. Okay.
But anyway, I'm making a joke. But yeah, I was like, no, I don't have ETs around me. And so shortly after, I had booked a session with Bob, Akashic Bob. And I go, okay, I got to ask him because Kim said I had ETs around me. And Bob goes, yes, you do. And I went, oh my gosh. So back to Kim. So at that time, you said that you really don't, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, don't believe in ETs, don't understand them, don't communicate. What did you say back then? Do you remember when you first did that?
No, I don't remember saying that. I've always believed in ETs. It's not that. It's just that I don't have I don't have conversations like when I see a departed loved one, that I feel like there's a conversation, there's shared memories we can talk about or things like that. But when I see an ET, and this is still pretty much true, although I'm getting a little more now, Danny, that I see them a lot. And I've been, I'd say since around 2006, or maybe, no, 2000, yeah, around 2006, I started seeing ETs. But to me, it was just like I see them. That doesn't mean they're scary. Haven't done anything. They're just, oh, there they are. Oh, yeah, no big deal. There they are, around people. But it was like, not like I understand. I don't understand why so much or what they're doing, except sometimes I can tell what they're doing sometimes.
Yeah. And did you ever, because you're a medium and you, that's what you do, that's what you've been training for so long, to connect and get evidence through mediumship. Did you ever try to get evidence through ETs?
A bit. I'm more of it like when, excuse me, like attempting them. So when I've seen them in the past, a lot of times they used to be. Now they're changing. They're shifting how they come to me now. But originally, I'd see them around tables as healers. even around one of the first times I remember very vividly, I was an energy medicine 5-day intensive. I may have told you this story. I don't know. I've told somebody this story. I was on a table and we were doing an experiment where 2 of us were on a table next to each other and we were holding hands, and there was a group of maybe 6 or 8 healers around us. And we were seeing how if we were getting some points on our body, and then would it go over to the other person if we were holding hands? We were doing an experiment like that.
Okay.
Okay. But when I opened my eyes after they were working on me, I saw ETs all around us, all around them. And they were green. They were all matching green, beautiful iridescent bodies. And they were shorter than most of the people, a little shorter, not a lot shorter. But I could feel, I could just feel smiles, and I could feel healers. I could feel that they were healers, and they were very happy to be there. So that was why I'm like, wow, they're healers. That's what they're here for. And so ever since then, I've always thought whenever I see an ET, they're just healers. And then, and then I've seen different ones. I've seen a few different varieties, not a lot of varieties though. I've seen when I'm talking on the phone with, I know I've told this story too. I may have told you or somebody else, but I have a friend in Washington State, and she lives on a piece of land with a lot of ET activity. And they live underneath the land, and it's been in her family forever. And her dad saw the spaceships. Anybody who's come to her house, it's very normal to see the spaceships and everything there. But whenever I get on the phone talking to her, like, oh, well, now they came to visit me. And I asked Dr. Gale about this. Why, when I'm talking on the phone to her, do I see them in my house? And she said, oh, they're just curious. They just want to see what you're up to. It's just a curiosity. like who's Marty talking to, So yeah. Then I've seen now, like when I saw with you, the ETs, the 3, and but it doesn't really startle me. I just say, okay, there's ETs. I did not have a communication with them. I don't really know why, except I feel like healers. I don't know. That's what it feels like even now when I'm tuning in, although I think you've got another one now that I'm just, as we're kind of talking, like I said, a few minutes ago, I see this, I feel a tall blue and kind of on your right side. Mm-hmm. So before, I don't remember if they were green or what, but anyway, yeah, I've seen them off and on, but again, it's just been like, okay, no big deal.
Right.
But then about a few months ago, I was thinking, I'm going to maybe try to channel an ET. Wouldn't that be exciting? I think this is maybe 6-8 months ago. So I was doing some kind of practicing, I don't know, thinking I'm going to channel an ET, like some famous people do, right? But so what happened though, I thought I was going to do this. Then Mother Mary comes in and she's like, nope, nope, it's me. You're not channeling. It's like, and she's done this a couple times when I've wanted to talk to her. No, she comes right in front of them.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. I have no idea why. I don't know.
And Mother Mary is your go-to? Is it somebody that is that she comes more often than others for people who may not know your story?
Yeah. Well, I would say she's I'm so comfortable with her. So it just feels like we're on the same team. I don't know how to explain it. Okay. And I feel like when I feel like I need somebody, I ask for her. Okay. And when I'm in a difficult situation, when I'm with a client or any time in my life, all the time, really, all the time, every morning, pretty much, I sit with her in my meditation, and I just invite her to sit with me. I don't know why that started or how that started, but I feel like she's always on my right side, and I can hear her easily. I mean, she's one that I can feel and hear the most out of anybody, probably. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's just interesting that you said that you invite her to sit with you.
Yeah.
Because many times when I'm meditating and I invite somebody, I just say, just sit, let me sit with you. Well, I say, let me sit with you. I don't, but there's always an invitation that we need to do, that we need to ask for, ask for them to come, to show up.
Yes.
And that seems to be a little bit of a theme going on in these interviews, is you've got to ask. So I think that's, I mean, I do. And I love just sitting in the energy. It's powerful.
Yes, I agree. Yeah, and you can invite anybody you want. Yes.
Right. My new ET friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can just see him as he's very pointy to me. So, that doesn't mean it's just my symbology. I know that I'm not the way I see is not the way everybody else sees, just like everything. We all pick up our information differently. We're all unique, even out of the 7 billion of us, we are unique.
Yes.
Our energy patterns, our energy way we pick up information is unique. And so if I see somebody like this, somebody else is going to see it different.
Right. And just to go back with my ET guide, this, when you said that I had 3, and then you said, hey, today I'm seeing somebody new. Well, this happened to be somebody that showed up during our class that we did, our Rocks and Feathers class. And so that was just I invited this ET, I think it's a female, but to just stay and hang and be with me, and just, anytime she wants to come visit, she can. And I know that sounds crazy. I know it is, but look for yourself.
I know, but
right?
She does feel motherly to me. I mean, she has that kind of a feel. I know she's not your mother, but I mean, she's watching over you in that way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I feel her really. It's such a quiet energy, and I really want to be able to hear what she has to say, but it's just a feeling now that is around, and the hearing will come later, but I need to get more comfortable with the feeling, if that makes sense, or with just the presence.
Yeah.
So have you heard any ETs, aliens? Have they talked to you? Well,
nothing that I can understand, but when I have worked a little bit with listening, it's like, let's see here. It's a feeling of a vibration that's very fast. I don't know how to explain it. And I feel like the thought processes of a ET is so fast that I'm not getting it. It's way, I mean, all I can say is, oh my God, this is so fast. I'm not getting it. That's what it's a feeling of that. It's kind of a feeling, slight hearing for me, or maybe it's a slight knowing.
Yeah.
That's how it feels to me. Yeah.
And some people call that light language, where it's just this fast vibrational thing. And then there's part of this that is also, they don't need to communicate. They do it telepathically. That's another sense I get. But then this light language, it does confuse me.
Yes.
A lot of this stuff confuses me. But so I go, well, why are they communicating in that light language? And is it something that we can learn? I know there's some people that channel and they do the light language.
Mhm.
And I go, well, that's just another area that I'm not ready for just yet. However, I wasn't ready for ETs about 6 months ago either.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah.
I think as we open up to the experience and just say, well, okay, maybe. And as we say maybe, then that door opens a little bit more and then a little bit more. And then pretty soon it's
Uh-huh.
wide open.
It's just hard to imagine we're going to be going from humans on Earth and animals, right? And animals are weird enough the way they look. And then I think I'm frozen. I don't know.
No. Oh, now you are. Now you are. It's okay.
I'm going to wait because I think, oh, there, I'm sorry.
That's okay. I can edit that out. I'll just.
Thank you. Okay. But I was going to say, what I was saying is that we're going to go from our human and animal friends into a world, maybe in 20, 30, 50 years, I don't know how long, with a lot of different species. Well, maybe that will be quite different looking. And so at first I'm like, I am not ready to have a green being playing the guitar with the children. I mean, I just, it's just like mind boggling right now. And I was telling Dr. Gail, like, what if in the lab or wherever they're making ETs, they come up with, they're trying to be human, but then what if they come up with, let's say, purple skin, eye and an eye, and maybe hair off the shoulders? I mean, what if they screw up?
Well, how is that screw? How is that? So if you have an eye on your chin, then you're like really looking at what you're eating closer. To me, it's because I scuba dive so much that, and you look at all the creatures underwater, and at first they are so bizarre, and now they're, it's like they're normal, and I want to go see them. I want to go, find them again. So yeah, it's like when you first came up to me and said you got ETs around you. I'm like, what? And now it's come on, all are welcome. Come into the light. But there's as something that I was listening to, because so many people are talking about ETs now.
I know.
And so I wanted to, I wanted to see if we could get, just a group of us all talking about it and sharing what we're going through, this new awakening with them. And when I said all are welcome, you got to be careful, because there are tricksters, there are pranksters, and they have to be invited with the benefit of all, with the good of all. And this is something that I can talk to Dr. Gail about, and she can explain with a little more precision. Because as with anything, when I read for somebody, or when I'm tapping into spirit guides, I want it to be for the good of everybody. So it's got to be positive, loving information, and not destructive.
Right. And that brings up the point where what I think most of us know is that the ETs are here to help us, to bring us from this 3D kind of, unusual negative world. Not always, but there's a big part of it that is, and they're helping us bring it up. And so, but in addition to having a really positive healing ETs, there can be, just like humans, there's going to be some not so positive.
Right, right. And when you said that, I flashed on the news cycle that we are constantly consuming.
Yeah.
Some people that I know are not constantly consumed by news, Kim. Come on,
Right?
get on the
Yep,
band,
yep.
turn on
I
CNN.
watch ET shows now.
But it's and I know Gail said that, and Scott said it on his interview with me too, that he feels like they're just not interested in politics. And for me, this is just a blip. And so we all get consumed with this.
Yeah.
And I think it was there for a purpose, to bring a whole bunch of people together to say, this is what we don't want, this is what we do want. Now we're figuring out what we do want, and what we do want is not to pay attention to that mess anymore, because it doesn't do any good. It just brings our energy so down.
Right. It's like watching war. Why would we want to watch war? I believe ETs, from what I hear, I don't have a real good direct communication, but yeah, they have a hard time understanding, why do we want to watch people kill other people? But even in soap operas, politics to them, I think, might even be kind of like a soap opera. It's kind of like a
yeah, it is. It is. Oh, we need a new storyline. Okay. So yeah, right. So do you have any, because you're a hospice worker as well, do you have any, when people are transitioning, if you can talk about this, have you seen any ETs in your work?
As a hospice nurse, just that one time that it stands out, when I had a man come to my house do a spiritual clearing. And when he was done, I saw 3 green, beautiful, vibrant, emerald green beings behind him. I said, and they were, again, smiling, feeling. I didn't see, all I saw was like the color, right? And I could tell they were human-like, but I mean, it's not a human exactly. But it was a feeling of joy and healing with them. Okay, so I just told them I saw these guys, and they said, oh yeah, I work with the Arcturians. Now, when you hear Arcturians, they're supposed to be blue, I think, blue and tall, I believe. Okay, but this, so it doesn't match. My visual doesn't match what I'm hearing, but it doesn't matter. So anyway, just know that they were there. But he told me the Arcturians. In that evening, I looked up Arcturians, who are supposedly help people transition, help humans when they're dying to transition to the spirit world. So the next day, I go see my patient. She was in a coma, but the family said all she said was silver spaceship 7 times. And that's all she said all day. So I said, well, they said, what does that mean? They asked me. I said, I don't know. That could be related to Arcturians, and maybe you should look up what Arcturians are. And so that's all I really could say. I mean, and that was a few years ago. That was probably 15 years ago.
Did they say anything? Did they come back to you? And
the family?
Yeah.
Well, I know that I know they were very interested in it. Let me see. I kind of think the son did say something to me. Oh yeah, I know he did, because he talked to plants. So we had a little bit of a open communication, because he was, I don't know, he worked with plants, and I asked him about that. So he could talk. He had interspecies communication with plants.
Wow.
So he was open, he had an open mind.
Yeah.
Plus, in that same space, the blind was moving in the room. Whenever they'd say, is she still here? Then the blind would move. Is she still here? The blind would move again. So just different things are happening, But so he did say, I think he was appreciative to know that. I don't remember. I mean, this is so many years ago exactly what he said, but I know he said he was appreciative to know that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I wonder what he would say. There's a bunch of videos on YouTube about plants and leaves waving.
oh,
Just constantly, just like waving, hi, hi.
Wow.
I'll send you one.
Okay.
I'll send you one of the links.
Wow.
And you can look at it on, find, just do it, waving plants, waving leaves.
Yep.
And,
Yep.
I have my personal thoughts on that, and they're waving, they're saying hi. Pay attention to Mother Earth.
Yeah.
Look at this, look at what you have, instead of just harvesting everything you can from.
Yes. Yes. And I'm hoping in this new era, Danny, I really, really hope, and I believe, and I think it's going to happen, that humans will be able to be much better healers than they are now, naturally.
Mm-hmm.
It's our soul's right to be able to heal, right? And so that we're going to be able to heal our planet. We're going to be able to heal the forest and the waters and all that.
Yeah.
I don't know how long that's going to be, but I don't think it's that long. I bet you it's within 10 years.
One of the things that COVID showed is how fast the planet can heal itself.
Yes.
So when you say 10 years, I'm hoping too. I'm hoping less.
Me too.
I don't have an image of how that will happen. But I definitely think that there is, well, let me back. I definitely feel, because I can't think about it, but I feel that this whole energy shift that's going through is going to produce some profound changes that are just going to blow us away. They're just going to be great, not blow us away bad, but and some people may go, oh my gosh, I'm not on the planet anymore. Oh, okay. Well, you go up and figure out how you want to come back as a better steward or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't find death to be, something that I'm, afraid of. I'm not looking forward to that, because I still like being here. I still like smelling, the earth and the air. I love the senses. But when it's my time to go, I hope that I'm okay with it. And I think I will be.
Yeah. Yeah. I can see you going right up to the Palladians.
Right up there.
You're going right up there. But
not right away though, right?
Oh, no, you got at least a couple years.
That's it?
Okay, I'm joking with you. I don't know.
Where's my calendar? 2 years from now. She said a couple is 2.
I said at least probably 30, 40. So
okay. Oh, good.
But when I was in Ecuador, I got to talk to the trees a bit, and it was so obvious that one of the trees were just saying they are going to regenerate, and there is going to be more, and it has to do with humans being more aware. And I felt like it would be more just this heart love to trees, and that we would know, just because of that in itself, the love that we have, then we're going to be kinder to the forest.
Nice.
They're gonna feel the love too. I was talking to somebody yesterday doing a reading for her. She loves trees, and so in her reading, it came up about how a little bit more about healing trees, and it came up about using music for the trees, playing music for the trees, and because she plays the guitar. And I think she might have played something else, but she could play music. And when I got into that energy of her playing music in the forest, I felt the trees like, wow, loving that. And then they send it out all around. I don't know how far the information goes for the trees, but it felt like it went far. Just that love that they felt.
When we first met, I had to cut my oak trees, and you asked me the second time, how did that go? And I go, I don't want to do it, but I had to do it. But at that time, I was out playing music, not me physically, but I had a speaker that I put out there, because we have one tree that is, it's old. It's not doing well. And it's huge. It's beautiful. and I remember playing music for it and just feeling that connection, how much they liked doing that. So thanks for that
Yeah.
reminder. And they're going, how come you're not playing music anymore? Because
Oh,
they
yeah.
really did like it. They
Yes.
did.
Yes, it was
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah, I can see that. Well, just
Yeah.
like
So
elephants, I mean, dogs, cats, they like there's cat music and dog music,
people music.
there's, no, but it's gotta be the right kind of music for healing. You know that.
So what is alien music? What music does and I talked
Oh
on
my
this on Nancy Jean,
gosh.
what music do the aliens like?
Oh, good question. You know what I think it would be? Now, let me just see. It has to be healing. It has to be healing music. It has to be music for healing. It has to be stuff like chimes or tuning forks, or I mean, it's not going to be like our kind of tuning fork. Probably it's going to probably be much bigger or grander. I don't know how that is. Maybe they don't even have to hear it. Maybe it can just be the vibration. You know how we have the tuning forks, they have a little vibration, right? And just that little vibration, you put it on their body, and that could be healing. But what about singing bowls? I mean, because
Yeah.
singing, I mean, the sound therapy and color therapy is the renewal of healing. I mean, that's been ancient, but it's coming up again. And even Dr. Gail and I were talking about it today, that they are definitely interested in that. And whenever personally I take somebody to do a healing, imaginary places or wherever we go for healing work, I always have them imagine singing bowls or vibrations that are healing. Now, because when I try to play it on I have singing bowls, but it doesn't sound good through the computer.
Right.
So,
yeah. They have to have better sound equipment on the other end.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, it's definitely okay. So what would they like? I feel like it's tones, but you know what? Ask Dr. Gale. My goodness, I don't know.
I'm asking you.
I feel like it's tonal. It's a tonal vibration, and it may be even a vibration we can't hear. It could be at a level we can't hear. Maybe.
Yeah.
I kind of think it might be. Like,
okay.
Yeah, yeah. But
I'm thinking it's hillbilly music.
Oh, well, that's one way to do it. They say, for people who are dying, country music is good.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, there's a difference between country and bluegrass.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm more along the lines of the bluegrass music. Roy Acuff singing real high notes, and it's like the notes just don't seem like they should fit, but they do. So anyway, I'm just messing. But another Pandora story where I was meditating and I'm sitting outside and I have this soft meditation music going on, and Pandora switches to Chet Atkins, and I'm like, what? And I go, oh, I think they like Chet Atkins.
Yeah. Well, they say now people who are dying, just as a little side note, they like simple music like country music or children's lullabies, because it's simpler for them they don't have to get the anxiety if it's too complicated. Then it gets their mind. It's kind of like us when we are trying to do something intuitively. If you go with your mind, it stops. It's hard to connect the heart if you're too much in your mind.
Yes.
So similar, if the music is simple, it's easier to flow into the other world versus having to think of something so complicated in the mind. You can't think your way into it.
Right. And, it all starts from the heart.
Yeah.
It all starts that's where we get our that's where we can go to different places, and it's through our heart space, not through our mind. We think it's up here through this, but it starts right there. This is where you see the movie. Well, for me anyway, this is where up here, but that's for me, it's a little scary because you have to open up. You have to be so vulnerable. And, I've got a couple of layers of protection over that. So it's interesting. This whole journey's been just fascinating, and I wish that when I first started out, that I just would have kept going with it. But, I had to get a job. I had to pay attention. I couldn't let people think that I'm crazy.
Yeah, you're right.
But I could.
Excuse me, let me pull a card on that. What'd you say?
So let me think. Yeah. Let me. Yeah. But my mom, she was saying that my grandfather never did any business without consulting his astrologer.
Wow.
And I went, really? So my mom was into this. But, I just wish that I would have just, somebody would have just said, it's okay. Keep going with it. Keep going with it. Don't shush it off.
Yeah. Now,
but they didn't. So I'm happy where I am right now in this progression. And it's, I was talking to Nancy Jean on how the energy lines are just opening up. We're getting more and more energy, different types of frequencies that are allowing us to move forward into this healing place that you see happening in the near future, which is awesome.
I do.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be major stuff this year. I've already seen major stuff this year. This is only February.
Yeah.
I've already seen people do what I would consider miracles.
Oh.
With healing. I mean,
yeah.
That are like, hey, what do you think of this? I did this and I didn't even know I could do that. And all of a sudden I can do it now.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. And I've experienced that too. I go, look what I just did. And it's like, did I do it? Well, stop questioning it, just believe it and try it again. Huh. So yeah, I truly think that we are opening up to so many more possibilities in this year. And it's exciting.
I know. People talk, I don't even want to think about all the people say, oh, if we dwell on the negative politics or whatever it is, or the other side, or the cues or whatever, then that's, we don't want to dwell on that. We don't want to live in that world. We want to live in the world of miracles and light and manifestation. And if we focus, so wherever we focus is where we are. If we focus on that other, that's where we are. No, we don't focus there, focus on the higher end, the light.
Yeah.
And that's where you can live. At least I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not perfect. I mean, God, I'm like God, but
what?
No,
only perfect people are on my channel. Only perfect people.
Right. So I'm perfectly imperfect. And I certainly don't have.
We got some work to do on you, Kim. Come on.
We've got some work to do. Oh yeah. But I'm amazed truly, because when I see other people, their progression and their intuition, just like even yourself and so many, is just really astronomical.
Yeah,
it
is
really a joy to see, to be at that. And if we can just stay in that and support each other. I mean, part of the reason you're doing this week show is have everybody kind of come together in alignment in the positive. So what a wonderful thing that you're doing.
Correct. Oh, well, yeah. It's, for me, it's trying to make this extraordinary time that is bombarding us with Palladian people next to me.
Yep, yep, yep.
And saying it's okay. It's kind of normal. If we get quiet, if we meditate, if we stop the chatter of the news cycles and all the negative and just stay in the now, in the knowing, and listen, we're going to come to a whole new understanding of what's available and what's possible.
Yeah, we're not even going to be interested in the news. We're going to be like, hey, did you see I just made that cloud move over that way just now? You know what I mean? Like, you know?
I just turned it into a little animal shape. You made it move, and and I put an eye right on its chin just for you.
Oh, I understand. I'm just not ready for that. But just don't look too weird when they come, you know, and when they jump, when they announce themselves off the spaceship. Not that, I mean, they're already here, but when they actually start walking on the land with us and we're mixed in, you go to the grocery store and there's a tall 7-8 foot thing, and then there's a 2-foot thing, and there's a, you know what I mean?
Did I tell you my Palladian story in Shasta? So this is after you said 3 aliens around you, after Akashic Bob said, oh yeah, Palladians. And I had somehow had to push my session forward or back with him because I was going to be spending a week at Mount Shasta. And he goes, oh, there's a Palladian summit up there with this guy, Lee Carroll, who channels Chiron. And they go, it's virtual. So I signed up to get this virtual event. Yeah. And I'm in my van listening to this podcast stream live, and it's fading in and out, and they start talking, and I know nothing about Palladians, Arcturians, Lyrians, Vegans, nothing. And he explains about the size and shape of Palladians, and on Earth, how they're very tall, very skinny, Nordic kind of looking. I think that's what he said. And I'm in my van going, yeah, okay. And I look out the window, and here's this woman walking in front of the van. She must have been 6'5", skinny, with long blonde hair. And I'm like, what? I gotta go out and get her. Hey, are you a Palladian? No, I didn't, but I'm like, what the heck? So, and then I when I was there, I'm just noticing all the tall people that are in Mount Shasta. There's a lot of tall people in Mount Shasta.
Wow.
That live there.
Wow.
A lot of tall people. I don't know what that's.
But, yeah. But you know, all Palladians are not all that way. You know, there's a lot of species of Palladian, you know that. Okay. Sure. Yeah. And I know Cryon, by the way, talks about how we people as humans, now probably maybe most people that are watching this already know this, but that we have our DNA comes from, because we were kind of seeded from, whether it was the Palladians or that's how we have had this ancestral tie to the other planets.
Correct. Yeah. And you know, that when I was talking to Nancy about that, for me in my upbringing, that's hard to swallow. That's hard to swallow. It's kind of like having an eye on your chin. It's like, no. I'm never going to forget that. I'm going to keep throwing it. Okay, I promise. I'm not going to say that. But yeah, it's like, no, that's, you know, I was raised a different way, and that kind of thinking for me anyway, is I'm letting that go and allowing some new thoughts to come in. So
Interesting.
it's an exciting time to be in.
Yes. So I need to share something with you, Danny. So, it's not unusual for me to see ETs around people. And I'd say, maybe, let's say 5 or 6 times a week. It's I see that, see it. But lately they've been coming in shaped like a barrel. And that's why I was wondering, so this is like, what is going on? They look like either a trash can or a keg. I mean, it's just weird, right? So then I think it was yesterday or the day before, one came as a barrel, but this one had like a window. It looked more like a keg. It had a black window that I could actually look inside. The other ones hadn't. So I just, in my consciousness, I went over and I looked inside. I opened up this window, and you know what I saw inside? I was like, oh my gosh, no wonder they're in a barrel. Because I would be totally like, oh my God, if I knew what you really look like. So when I looked in there, there was a blue being, about a blue is that, I guess, a little lighter, but it had more iridescent, skinny, every bone. I mean, I only could like see the chest up, but it had, kind of a human like face, I guess. I don't think I remember hair, but it was so skinny. You could see this collarbone. I mean, just like, almost like it was just skin over bones. And then, but inside the barrel, which was so awesome, was blue light that was effervescent, as if I was looking at a million not starflies. What are those flies that light up?
Fireflies.
Fireflies. It was like that, except they're blue. And it was in the barrels and effervescent. And it was this wonderful healing. I'm getting the chills now. Wonderful healing energy. This being, even though, so he came in shaped like a barrel. Now, Dr. Gale thinks that's his traveling utensil, or his traveling, he travels, okay? But when I saw him, oh, he's more like this color, I guess, kind of, but much more vibrant, much more vibrant. But the thing is, the person I was doing this reading for was a healer. I don't think she even knew she was a healer. But the feeling of this blue energy in there was all healing energy. It was like, oh my gosh, the beauty of that energy.
Yeah.
Even though the being was so skinny and everything, but it was all within the barrel. So I don't know. I don't know what that's about. I'm just letting you know that was quite interesting. And now I'm going to start looking inside the barrels now. If I can, if there's a window in the future when I start seeing the barrels, or I'm going to see if there's a window for me to look inside.
And that goes back to just having the curiosity to say, I'm going to look in the window, instead of going, oh, hell no, they don't exist. They don't exist. I'm not going there. That's crazy land. No, I think I'm going to journey into crazy land and take a look at this. So when you were saying this, going back to diving, there is barrel coral, and I'll send you a picture of it. And many times when you look inside the barrel, there will be an iridescent, bright blue starfish.
Ooh.
And the starfish, it's not a big fat one, but it's skinny. And I'm like,
oh my goodness. Ooh, send me that picture. A barrel.
I don't know.
A barrel starfish.
Barrel sponge, and inside they'll have starfish in it.
Okay.
Blue starfish.
Oh my goodness.
And I remember, and some of these barrels are huge. You can swim in them. You can stick your head in them if you're careful. If you're a spazzy diver, don't do it, because you'll break the sponge. But yeah, so a lot of this stuff,
wow,
I see underwater,
oh.
and so it's it's like, why am I fighting the image so much? I've seen it. I've seen it so many times, so many bizarre things underwater that why wouldn't I think that
Yeah.
there's something from, yeah, anyway. It's cool.
Wow.
That
Oh,
is really neat. That is really, and I get a sense too that it is um, a ship to travel in. But and you describing the color that was amazing. I mean, for me, I mean, I'm getting chills just thinking about that color
the
and
color, the feeling,
the healing.
the healing of it. It was the healer in there. And I got the impression that, like, well, if you saw me just loose, like the being, you know, the real skinny being, you would not think that much of me or something, or maybe scared, right?
Oh, wow.
But so maybe I'm staying in this so that doesn't scare you, I guess. I don't know. See, I'm not getting the clairaudient. I'm only getting this vision and the feeling. But it was amazing, the feeling and the beauty is like, oh my goodness.
Right. And that's where in this awakening, where I think it's so important. I mean, you and I think a lot alike in education, that this awareness needs to be honed and practiced, that we can lose it really quickly when we stop working on it.
Yeah.
So it's important that we go over the clairs again, like you have your clairs class, go over those, look at different colors. What do they mean? To spend some quiet time honing your intuition back to being where it was when you were a kid and it was just free.
Right.
So,
when it was just natural.
Right.
Yeah. I always tell people, don't try too hard, right? Just to be natural with it, not to question, allow.
Just allow.
And
no, we need to question. We need to question things. No, we don't.
Exactly. It's the adult mind who wants to be right. I'm right. I gotta be right. Gotta be right. But
the ego mind. Yes. Anyway, this has been, we can talk forever on this. Kim, this has been absolutely a joy. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Danny.
When you go see your barrel friend again, please say that I said hi.
Okay. Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what's inside the next one I look in.
Yeah, it will be. I mean, is it going to be different healing colors? Is it going to be a different color, or is it all that healing blue? Yeah.
I don't know. Healing also comes in green for me too. So we don't know. We'll see.
Right. Because that's what I associate. It's with green. So anyway, we'll expect your report in
okay. Thank you, Danny.
a few weeks.
Thank you.
Anyway, thank you, Kim. Thanks everybody for watching.
For doing this, Danny. Thank you so much. Blessings to you.
My pleasure.
Okay. Bye.